Hello, my people. Welcome to another episode of SITWITH. Let's just dive into what we have for you guys today. Putin, president for Russia, he make a statement saying, Africa, the continent, like a graveyard for us Africans. So what do you think about that statement?
Putin is a great man. If Putin,
he tried to say, elaborate a little bit. He tried to say, Africans, when they want to do their shopping.
No, see.
That wasn't said by Putin. I don't think that's real. That wasn't said by Putin.
Anyways,
I think the only thing that Putin said was African is looking like a graveyard for Africans. Yeah, but all of those other details were given by other people who have been saying things.
They talk say why saying when the day man became he asks explanation. It means that the bride price they pay and for mommy hate at we stage. So we understand which way he talk. We get the point. See, majority of the people they don't come across for the UK where they come out, especially our community, they get a very different mindset from some of we. When I talk about different mindset, I mean people the way they believe say as they don't come for years
positive or negative mindset. Negative. All right.
As they don't come for years, they just believe now their final bus stop that they just believe as a day year. So any other man, any other say concern Africa, you know concern them.
Okay. So anything we discuss about Africa, they just dismiss up.
No, they don't want to. They don't want to. Don't we talk about Cameroon? Hey, this, hey, that. Bro. See, we come from a community where so many things are going wrong. We are that generation that needs to bring the change in the system.
Okay.
If we don't understand that, the reason why we God bless you, check for inside our family they will come out, or we check for our family they will come out. There is something about us where we do for side, where we do, where we share a light, or if we bring a light to our community. Now, if you say you over special, there's something about you. Now, whatever God choose, now you may live with the position where you did now. So, you understand? I said earlier here that I have an NGO. Aside of my career, I have an NGO. Why am I NGO the focus now for my community? Now, because I believe there is a lot I can bring to my community that it's not being done. And if I not do, God go hold me responsible. Say, hey, I blessed you. I'm kept you in a position where you were supposed to do this and that and that and that for your people. Why didn't you do it? You understand? I don't want to let greed, I don't want to let selfishness take over me. There's a lot I can do for my community. Why Africa get for be? The reason why people they talk that thing now because the men they just feel they say when they do for you know after so many years for old age when they don't die, may they go bury in the back for Africa.
Exactly.
They go bury you for Africa for which place? What you don't do for that community? The only thing way you go contribute for that community now manure. That's it.
So you accept Putin's statement.
100%. No, I say I accept his statement.
I say you find I'm hard in you for accept, but not the reality.
That is the facts. You understand? It's the reality. Bro, we need to change our mentality. You understand? I get one of my grandfather ever.
So you feel say if all of we Africans will come together, will build our community, Africa no be graveyard anymore.
No one day. If it ever be. If it ever be. See, one of the most difficult thing them, where if it happen now so for the world, where if it changed in them for that highest level, now if black people they unite, we start think like one. If we unite and we start think like one, we start decide to develop our continent. Trust me, 10 years from now. Europeans go find it very difficult to survive. The Western world will find it very difficult to survive without we. Because if we develop Africa for that highest level, go back for they will survive, past the way people will survive.
Okay.
And it tell you facts. You understand?
Yeah.
So now it correct if it also would see Africa. Majority of us are from experience, majority of the people I've spoken to in this country, they don't want anything to do about Africa. Why? They know what I need to do about Africa. Africa where I should not live for 20 years. I don't get nothing for my life. Africa where good will understand. So what are you doing now to change that? What are you doing to bring a new change in the system? What are you doing for the generation that is coming up? What are you doing? What is your contribution to your community? What is your contribution to the growth of Africa? How can the position you find yourself benefit the people back home?
So those people are black legs.
They're black legs. Black legs. Devils.
Okay.
You understand? They are selfish.
See.
Mr. Eno drink water first. Like this story go long, eh? Metre.
No, not be made. see the what he said.
Confession time.
Africa being a graveyard, right? Is quite right. He was quite right, but the narrative has been changing. The narrative has been changing. We have different people in different countries. A people cannot grow unless it's systematic, right?
You said it's been changing. Give us an example.
It's been changing. No, I'm getting there.
What has been changing?
I'm getting there. Wait, I'm getting there.
What has been changing?
I'm getting there. Can I?
See, right on.
May I?
Right on.
My lord, if I may I? Okay.
All right.
Now, if you look at how many years have Africa had independence, we had a civilization that was working perfectly for us, right? Now, post-colonialism, we still had some challenges to fight, right? Every generation had their own different challenges, right?
And it all stems from the same source.
No, yeah, every generation have their different challenges to overcome. Now we are at a situation where we have to, take off our development in full force because other people have been struggling to lay the framework. Now, I don't want to talk about Europe. Europe has had ancient civilization for hundreds of years. Ours was
cut short,
destroyed. Our civilization was destroyed completely. All the great Mali empires, the Benin empires,
Songhai.
So they were all destroyed, and then we are starting to rebuild ourselves from scratch, and we were separated from each other. So we are trying to find our identity and build our Africa from scratch. Okay, now, irrespective of the massive corruption and stuff like that, Africa is not the only continent that is a graveyard for its people. Do you know how many Asians travel? Do you know how many Filipinos, how many Indians, Nepalis, Pakistanis, Bengalis, how many of them travel?
But why do they always pick on us?
Philippines
because civilization started in Africa.
No, Philippines has a ministry that is in charge of people traveling abroad. That help people to travel abroad. Now, the difference with us and them that validates this statement is that those people go to work and go invest and go back home, right? But most of us Africans, we go to settle in a place. So Africans are settlers in effect. Filipinos come here, get the passport, but all of their money is going back to Philippines. I worked with Filipinos in the UAE. They are eating noodles every day. They are sending all their money back to Philippines. But Cameroonians, they are buying the best sneakers, the best shoes, the best cars, and the best. Look,
black legs.
Look, no, not just black legs. Most
you have to make yourself comfortable.
If you look at an Indian medical doctor here, he's a medical doctor by day, an Uber driver by night. Right?
When the money is going back home.
Yeah, he's investing back in India, and then also the first thing actually that make people want to invest back home if the opportunities are there. And if the system encourages investment, right? And if the system encourages investment, I think in 2012 or 2011, Israel had more money for small and medium-sized enterprises than they had entrepreneurs. Okay. So there was a bank, there's a bank in Israel that is there to support entrepreneurs, but they had reserves, like they spent less.
Yeah.
Because so many people are getting into business and expanding.
Yeah.
So people don't even need the money anymore. But we have countries that the system does not
high taxes.
System does not promote you. It's not even high taxes. The ease of doing business is difficult. To buy a piece of land, to get documents, all of those things is so difficult and so stressful. And when people travel out, they have little time. Every year, people have like 30 days to go back home and do one or two things, right? Now there's, internet, so there are some things that can be done online. You can do passports online, ID cards online. Okay, those things are becoming a little bit easy. But other things like doing business, maybe investments. Now, our societies and governments had not put measures to assist people who are traveling out of the country. to assist them to be able to invest, to buy even shares in companies or whatever, and make businesses grow, right? Good. That's why we're also talking about the banking. You see countries like Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, they have banks, Uganda. They have banks that Ugandans are working in the UAE and they are saving their money in those banks, and their bank accounts are in Nigeria. So you can be in the UAE as a Nigerian, you create a bank account from a Nigerian bank, and your money is being going there. You can monitor your money in real time. You can transfer money from that bank account to somebody. You can also receive money from there back into the UAE. So those things are coming up, and the narrative is being changing. And also, traveling. We talked of tourism, doing business. Infrastructural development has to be at the forefront. And thankfully, most of these countries in East and West Africa, also Southern Africa, they are struggling to, develop the infrastructure, that the rail lines, the road networks, and, that people can now start doing business within Africa, and it will reduce the number of people that are traveling abroad. Even if people are traveling abroad, they will spend most of their monies investing back home and developing back home. You have countries like Rwanda that are expanding. Tanzania that are expanding. Kenya is trying its best. Nigeria is, really doing a lot in terms of developing businesses in Africa and across Africa. So that's what's happening. Yes, we were a graveyard because we had those kind of challenges. Yes, we are solving those challenges very, very slowly, but we are solving them. India was the country that had the poorest population in the whole world. Nobody was saying India was a graveyard for its people. India was the poverty capital of the world.
So nobody was saying are we just an easy target?
People. Yeah, we are just an easy target. In 2015,
so you don't
in 2015, this country in South America, El Salvador was the murder capital of the world. Nobody was talking about it. But, they talk about Africa as a murder country, it's a war country. We just have our little disputes, but other countries have real on and out, all out wars. We are talking about the Israel-Palestine war. We can talk about the war
that's been going on for ages.
That's been going on for ages. We can talk about the war in Yemen and other countries. But Africa is just an easy target. But then, we shouldn't give in to what people say, right? And even if people say something, we should look at it. Is there any truth in what they are saying? Is there any sense in what they are saying? How can we change it? How can we ourselves change the narratives? Because you don't have any political position. These things are political wills, right? Europeans had slaves. Europeans did not just stay in their houses and they commanded slaves from Africa. No, their government, their institutions went and brought slaves, which helped the entire citizens to develop. So if we want to develop as a people, our institutions have to create those systems that will enable us evolve. That will enable us, evolve, not involve.
So
develop.
Are you trying to suggest slavery to come back?
No. It must not be slavery. Slavery was what benefited. We have a lot of the risk. They didn't have resources, so they needed slavery to work.
So now we have resources. We have the money power, the manpower.
No, come on. China didn't use slavery to develop. These people.
What did they use? Witchcraft.
Oh my goodness. China didn't use slaves. They used their population. They have a good population.
No. That was just an aside, bro.
No. China used their population to develop their country themselves.
No, I said my question was just an aside. I didn't say.
Countries like the UAE, they didn't use slavery. Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, all this Middle East, Qatar, all those countries are developing. They are using their resources. They import the labor and the technology to develop their countries. At the same time, they are also developing their own technical education of their citizens. So we can do the same.
All right.
We can do the same. It's just
now,
easy.
Oyibo them, I don't want to call their real names, Best way no. Oyibo them, the vex will be pest for their community, while we say will be underrepresented in certain domains, in the government, in here and there. So, do we deserve everything that Oyibo is also getting? Or should we be happy just to be accepted in their community? Because now we don't come up from our own area. We don't come now with the occupy positions there for their area. So we just give a be happy with the position we'll get, or we'll still or more push forward.
But I look Banika. So see, now politics make people feel say some man be superior past some man. No man no use money buy a piece of land for the earth before it come for the earth. All we will come as strangers for the place.
Okay.
The day when some man go tell me, say, I be privileged for live in white man country, I'm more white man, I go box him up. You understand? I go box him up.
So you deserve everything what you get because earth now for everyone.
All man.
So why borderlines a day?
Why different countries? Now what I tell you, now politics don't separate we. So now politics, you get your Bible, they tell you say God be separate the West, so separate the West, so separate the West. So now after something happen, we partition this happen for inside the thing. And white man now, being the person where they be, they bring manipulation for inside the thing now. Cause I make me look like some people they be superior, some people they have a third world, some people they have a second world, some people they have a first world. You understand? Now just not there for the no man not they privilege for whatsoever. It's rather unfortunate say our government they make life easy for we. Most of for all African countries, the majority of African countries, the government they almost get one and the same problem. With our leadership, you understand? Most of our leaders, they mostly abide to the colonial masters, even for our generation. Inside Siasia.
So if you have this same job, the same position back home, you move back.
If I have the same job, the same salary, same everything, boy, I do it to here.
So you not be infatuated by the snow, the tall buildings,
wonderfulish palaver,
the nice roads, nice cars.
So I come on inside zoo, can't we? I come on inside bush, can't we? Bro, see, I don't tell you several times, you know. The only advantage is the way you get them for this place. Like how Eno earlier said, and I say we can't feel we can better our life than back home. That's the only advantage. If the place no better my life, I do it over here. The very situation them, we see amend from our countries. If thing they fine.
This side.
Why the West still when they agree some will get United States of Africa, which you feel say be their reason. Why they no want
which proof you get and say they agree?
Why they kick Gaddafi?
You know if you ever know.
Bro, now what I tell you now politics don't destroy them. Not to say you know if you ever know.
And the other one, this other news and rumor.
No rumor. No rumor. Gaddafi was killed. He was assassinated because he was for one Africa. You understand? And he's not alone. Most of the people, the way they come up with that idea, they ever find a way to move them out of the game. So you facing that for nothing where Western world, they get one president for 4 years, he come out, another one come for 4 years, he come out, so that one go be for 50 years, 40 years for Africa.
So now they are doing.
It is their doings. Africa is colonized. Africa
so they
is
implant their puppets in places in Africa for get raw materials.
That's what I tell you. Africa be colonized now for paper. Practically, Africa.
So we don't move from slavery.
Sorry,
Africa we don't come now into a different form of slavery.
All the thing na politics, na game.
Okay.
They play people them. They know what they are doing. You understand? They know. Now why I tell you, if we will, by the time we will start wise, we'll be like the Western world. Plenty things they go change. You go cost if you cut that war. Okay, yeah, the boy they guess. Yeah, there is why they guess. Majority of the yeah, there is why they guess.
They want to repay slavery.
I see some other pictures that I did some man come with it. Some man say, "Child, it's some picture of some slave we don't tie a neck. He can tie with chain, then carry some marble back so." It was a child situation they do my ancestor. I beg any man get 3 years Facebook. I just start laughing. Say like, you understand?
No, but we don't carry religion for our head, so we just say we'll forgive that.
Now who bring religion
part
for
of
you?
our future?
Who bring
for
religion
our life?
for you? Now I tell you, no, this thing now
all
politics. Now all politics. Now all politics, even religion.
So religion not be pure. We get propaganda.
When I say religion not be pure, they bring religion for Africa now for facilitate colonization of Africa.
Okay.
And mind you, now Old Testament, especially Deuteronomy they use them for convince people. I read for some place where Queen Elizabeth that way send Consort Heward who can colonize Africa. They let away, according to the teacher for school, they let away Consort Heward send them back for Queen Elizabeth. It tell you say, you see the people they do so will not feel colonize again because the people they know
their culture is too strong.
They will not feel do anything again. They will take over we.
So
French will take the other side. Queen of England tell us say, Papa, use Bible. Tell them say obey your master. You get to do so. Slave get your master get to get slave. Your Bible permits you to do this. Other one na evil thing they want to do. No go for heaven. When I die go for hellfire. They start playing with the conscience of the people. They play with their minds, play the mind game, and the majority they are the leader. They really fall for the team. And when they head, it's already down. The body will face it. The body will face nothing that will happen. Nothing that will happen with Africa.
So just need for turn our back on those things that will progress.
Papa, one foolish progress.
Mr. Eno, what's your opinion on this?
What was the question even? What was the first question?
So we deserve for live the same life, occupy the same spaces.
Okay. I remember now. Yes. No, we don't. Let me explain. We don't. And I'll ask you. Okay. I'll ask you a series of questions, right? How would you feel if you wake up one morning and the whole of Bisongabang
is in your house?
It's occupied by white people.
Okay.
All right. White people who have nothing about Ngbe tradition, don't know nothing about Tobasinjon. They are living in their own world. They are owning lands of Bisongabang and going. No matter how we say we are easy about it, we are welcoming, we are, it's not a problem or whatever, right?
That's it. That's until it happens to us.
Yes, somewhere there will be a level of discomfort. Okay?
Okay.
Now, black people are more racist than white people. I'll say it. You hate me. But I'll tell you, I'll give you an example. At the moment now, we are the victims. See, at the moment, we are the victims of racism. So it pains. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying at the moment. But I tell you what, there are some black people whom, I have talked to so many black people. There are black people whom, if they have the opportunity, they will be more racist than white people.
Would that be because of vengeance or?
No idea.
Or natural instinct?
We did not experience slavery.
So
right?
we should dismiss the fact that our forefathers did.
No, come on. Can I explain?
Explain.
We did not suffer. Maybe we are suffering the effects of slavery, but we did not suffer the slavery at the time when it was happening.
Okay.
We are not direct victims of slavery. So we carry the, post-traumatic stress.
Yes.
And that is what happens in South Africa and Black America. A Black American is allergic to law and order by nature because of that PTSD. They're like, police were used as to carry out the slaving stuff. So they don't just want to hear anything that has to do with police or law. That is the same thing that happens with black South Africans. Because they are white South Africans, even though the apartheid ended, but they are white South Africans. But majority of the South Africans that are black don't like to work. They like to sit on benefits. They don't just want to hear anything that has to do with law and order. They don't want it. They are naturally aggressive because of that. But the nation cannot develop without law and order. So many countries were colonized in the world. But those countries, they are developing their institutions. They are developing their law and order, and they are growing. Now, go back to the thing I was talking about, Africans and racism. If I come into this house, let me not say this house. If I come into my family with a Chinese girl that I want to marry this Chinese girl, I believe you, there will be thunder and brimstone. Because I was like, how the hell did you come with a Chinese girl? You're a Bayangi boy, you're this, you're that.
I think we're missing something here.
No.
I want to ask a question. Let me ask a question before you continue, please.
I don't want to
ask a question. No.
Yeah.
Maybe I did not understand the question. I want to ask something. Wait, you continue your point. What you asked was, do we deserve the same treatment and position as them?
Yes,
that
was the question.
That was the question. And I'm saying no. And I'm giving you reasons.
So what makes a white man superior to me?
He's not superior to you.
So if you say I don't
he's trying to say we are superior in our land, they are superior in their land.
We're talking about a general term. No. General term.
No, we said in their offices, their office space, their spaces.
So you let me finish. Don't just listen to reply.
Don't listen to
let him finish. He listened to you. Let us listen to him.
I didn't stop you. Don't listen to reply. Listen to understand. If I open, it's not. If I open a company now as a Bayangi man, right?
And you employ only Bayangi people?
No, I'm not going to employ only Bayangi people. I'm a Cameroonian and Bayangi person. If I put on an advert online, whatever, vacancy, and 50 people apply, 20 whites, 30 blacks. My natural instinct will be to employ the black people. You open your company in Cameroon, your natural instinct will be to employ your black people in Cameroon. Now, if there's a white man in Cameroon looking for a job, it will be difficult for you to employ that white man, because your culture, it's natural all over the world. Look at it. The owner of Manchester City is an Arab person, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his CEO was an Arabic person. He came with the CEO. So people, you're going to trust who you know, who you grow up with, who has the same culture with you. It is population segregation. There is natural segregation in population. That's why in places you have Hausa quarters, you have Banso quarters, you have all those type of things, right? You go to Douala, Bonaberi, mostly Anglophones. There is natural segregation in our human, I don't even know what to say. But as human beings, we segregate ourselves naturally. You came to this UK. How many white people did you make friends with before making friends with? Or how many Cameroonians do you know since you got to the UK? And how many white people do you already know? So it's a natural instinct for you to be attracted more
to your own.
You understand?
I get you.
So the UK is owned by white people, right? Mm-hmm. By English people and the Irish and the Scots people and the Welsh people. Mm-hmm. In their place, it is their system. They own it. They own everything. We are not going to be equal with the people who own it, okay? They can give us opportunity based on merits, yes. What we are supposed to own is back home. That's why you see, that's the thing. Now I'm saying we Africans, we are settlers. I said here that we black people, we are settlers. Mm-hmm. Filipinos come here, they serve, they make their money, and they are building industries in Philippines. And
and tomorrow there will be no need to come here.
India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world right now, right? Mm-hmm. Every day in India, 3 people are pulled out of poverty. Is it every day or every hour? I think I saw that statistic like 2015. Every day or every hour, 3 people are pulled out of poverty, mm-hmm. according to the country. Okay. And you look at countries like G5 and the G7s, India is part of it now. The fastest growing countries in the world, developing countries, right? Because those people traveled, they didn't come here to be equal with the people in this country.
No.
No, let me finish. Please, let me finish. They traveled to develop their own place because that is where they belong. That is what they own. I wouldn't be happy when I wake up and in my village in Upper Bayang and I'm seeing white people all over my village. Mm-hmm. I would not be as happy.
Does that make
and
you
then they
racist?
have equal. It doesn't make me mm-hmm. being racist to me. This is a controversial thing. Racism is not bad. Racial discrimination is bad.
Okay.
Being a racist means you love your own race more than another race. But mm-hmm. discriminating based on a race is what is bad. So being a Bayangi boy doesn't make me bad to Bamenda people. But if there is a competition or something that's going on between Bayangi and Bamenda, then I discriminate because in favor of the Bayangi. That is the problem. I am a Bayangi. I love the fact that I'm a Bayangi person. I love our music. I love our culture. I love our Bayangi lifestyle. As a black and Cameroonian, I still love and I belong to that. You understand? Mm-hmm. So we always like to jump on a bandwagon of, racism, equality. Where? In people's own land, we should be talking about equality in the lands that we own in Africa. Mm-hmm. That is why Nigeria is growing. Nigerians come here, they are working 3 jobs, and they invest in Nigeria, and 5 years, 10 years time, they are going back to Nigeria. They own mansions, they own businesses, they are billionaires. Do you think Dangote would have been a billionaire if he stayed in Europe? Do you think Davido's father Adeleke would have been a billionaire if he stayed in America? He came to America, worked, invested in Nigeria, and went back. He's a billionaire. Do you think Baba Dampolo would have been a billionaire now in Cameroon if he remained abroad? This is other people's land. We cannot have the same rights and the same what can I? We cannot even have the same rights and the same privileges as them in their village.